I'm Mo Lester, and tonight on Fellas Approach to Government, we bring in Doug Brown, co-writer of the Blankety Blank Bill. Please welcome Doug Brown. It's nice to have you here, Doug.
Well, it's nice to be here, Mo.
So let's cut to the chase. Many politicians and citizens are eager to find out about the Blankety Blank Bill. So what's it all about?
Well, it's mostly made up of what most conservatives believe, but aren't brave enough to say. This bill will be addressing changes to be made to current social programs. In the beginning of President Obama's term, many legislation acts were passed to accommodate a Democratic president and Congress. Many of these acts have contributed to the climbing deficit of the United States, which is now near $14 trillion.
Wow, really?
Yes. It's just been climbing and climbing recently, more and more.
Yeah.
There are many different approaches on how to deal with this issue, but a high percentage of them will fail. This plan must go into effect as soon as possible because it has the highest potential to save our country.
You don't say.
I do say.
Well, that's live TV, folks. That's a very interesting approach on how to deal with such a great deficit. How do you think that this will compare to President Obama's approach?
Well, President Obama is a Democrat, and his plans have been to help the poor, and the way he is doing that is evening it out by weakening the middle and upper class. The approach of the Blankety Blank Bill is not to make everybody equal, but a little bit of tough love, forcing the lower class to hold up their end of the deal and make them stop being lazy, for lack of a better term.
That's interesting. I've also heard that this bill plans to lower the income level to receive welfare by 20%. Have I heard correctly?
Why, yes, you have heard correctly. And by that statement, we mean that the maximum net salary for a family of 4 receiving welfare was $22,056, and we would like to lower that down to $17,644. For there is a large amount of people in between that income range that the government is taking care of. After implementing these changes, many of the people will be taken off this list for receiving welfare benefits. That money can be used to lower the deficit.
That's a very bold thing to do, you know? But
Drastic times call for drastic measures.
that would obviously be beneficial considering the state of our economy.
Yes, of course, but also in addition to this, we will be making drug tests mandatory each month to prove that said person should be eligible to receive these benefits. If they fail this drug test, then they are temporarily cut off from receiving welfare benefits for that month.
That sounds like a solid plan. Have you done any advertising for this bill?
Yes, actually, we have aired 2 of these advertisements in the past week.
That's your cue.
Hello, I'm Doug Brown. Recently, many Americans have been fired or laid off from their jobs and have made no advancements in the job hunt. Some have been trying, but there are still many who receive their benefits from hard-working taxpayers for welfare. What our bill is proposing is that we cut down that number significantly by lowering the salary requirements to receive welfare. As an added bonus, we will make receiving welfare more difficult for many by implementing drug tests monthly for the recipients of such benefits. Please support your local congressman in passing this bill. I'm Doug Brown, and have a nice day.
If you're just tuning in with us now, we have Doug Brown in the studio talking about the Blankety Blank Bill. I've got to say, Doug, what's up with the hair?
Recently, I lost a bet, and this is a price.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now more about that bill.
Yes.
What are your plans for Obamacare?
Well, in this bill, it is stated that spending on such programs like Medicaid will be cut by around 10%, lowering it by approximately $70 billion per year. This amount sounds like all the money in the world, but compared to our deficit is just a mere start to breaking even.
Okay, well, I think our producers have found your second commercial, so let's see that one too. Why, hello there. I'm Jamie McNamara. and I'm just a regular fellow such as yourself. I don't know about you, but I've headed up to here with Democrats and their social programs. Do you want to pay for people that are too lazy to get a job and benefit from these programs? Ha! Rhetorical question. I know you don't. That's why my colleague, Douglas Charles Brown, and I are trying to pass a bill that will dramatically reduce the government's spending on these programs. We will radically diminish the spending on Medicare and Medicaid, food stamps, and other programs like HEAP and HUD. You have yourself a fine day. Boy, oh boy, do I have to say that man was handsome. Sorry. What are the plans for other spending?
Well, also in this bill, we plan to cut down spending drastically on programs such as HEAP and HUD.
Now, what exactly are those programs for?
Well, HEAP is an acronym standing for Home Energy Assistance Program, or Project. And what it does is financially helps many homes and apartments heat their homes. HUD stands for Housing and Urban Development, and they invest money in trying to help people buy and sell homes for a low rate. Both of these programs are federally funded and do not need as much funding as they are given. My personal belief.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have tonight, folks. We would like to send a special thanks to Congressman Doug Brown and Jamie McNamara and wish them luck in trying to have their bill passed. Stay tuned in for a new episode of My Big Breasts and I. My name is Mo Lester, and from Goes to Dynamite.